She walks into a room and the temperature changes. Everyone notices her before she says a word. The rhinestones under her eyes, the lifted chin, the walk that says she owns whatever floor she is standing on. Maddy Perez became the most magnetic girl on television, and if you have rewatched her scenes, saved the makeup looks, and quietly wished you moved through the world the way she does, you are not alone. But here is the part almost nobody says out loud. Your obsession with Maddy was never really about Maddy. It is about you, and what it reveals might sting a little on the way down. Let's start with why she works, because the surface matters before we go underneath it. Maddy is not the friendliest girl in the group, and she is not trying to be everyone's favorite, and that is the entire point. Picture a dark house party, purple and blue lights sliding across the walls, a crowd packed wall to wall, and one woman in a cutout dress moving through all of it like the chaos was arranged for her arrival. She does not beg for attention, she lets it find her. When somebody tests her, she does not get flustered and start over-explaining herself. She raises one eyebrow, says the sharp thing, and keeps walking. Underneath the glamour there is a stillness, a sense that she decided a long time ago that she is the prize, and the room can catch up whenever it is ready. So ask yourself an honest question. Would you rather be liked or be respected? Because Maddy made that choice, and she chose respect every single time. That trade quietly scares you if you are being honest with yourself. So you soften, you laugh at the joke that was not funny, you shrink an inch so that nobody in the room feels threatened by you. Maddy looks like she stopped paying that tax years ago, and watching someone refuse to pay it is intoxicating because it is so rare. So here is the first uncomfortable truth. You are not obsessed with her face, and you are not obsessed with her wardrobe. You are obsessed with her permission. Maddy does the things you will not let yourself do. She takes up space without apologizing for it. She says the sentence you swallow. She walks away from a conversation that bores her instead of nodding along for another 20 minutes to keep some fragile peace intact. When you watch her, a quiet part of you lights up and thinks, I wish I could get away with that. But those 4 words, get away with, are the entire confession. You already believe that being completely yourself is something you would have to sneak past a gatekeeper. Like it breaks some rule you never actually agreed to. Maddy never got that message. That is the real fascination. She is not doing anything superhuman. She is simply moving like the permission you keep waiting for is something she already handed to herself a long time ago. And the reason you cannot look away is that some part of you knows you could do the exact same thing. But confidence like that does not fall out of the sky. And when you look at where Maddy actually came from, the picture gets more complicated and a lot more human. Long before the parties, she was a little girl in the pageant world, learning to smile exactly on cue, to hold a pose, to perform poise for a row of adults, deciding whether she was pretty enough and polished enough to win. Picture a young girl in a sparkly dress under hot stage lights, holding a practiced smile while strangers score her out of 10. That is the factory where a certain kind of woman gets built. She learns before she is even old enough to understand it that presence is currency, and that if she looks unbothered, she gets to control the room. So the armor goes on early, the eyeliner gets a little sharper every year. The performance gets so convincing that eventually even she forgets it started as a performance. And here is why that matters for you specifically. The most self-assured woman in any room is very often the one who learned the earliest that she had to earn her spot by looking like she did not need a single thing from anyone. Real confidence and expensive armor can look completely identical from across a room. The difference only shows up in the one place she could not perform her way out of. Now for the part that should stop you cold. The most magnetic girl on television, the one who never shrinks, who walks into every room like she owns it, spends the entire story losing herself over a boy named Nate. Not a kind boy, a cruel one. A boy who lies to her, who tries to control her, who humiliates her, and who keeps reeling her back in every single time she gets close to walking away for good. The woman who intimidates everyone else becomes small and unsure around the one person who treats her the worst. And if that makes no sense to you, do not skip past it, because it is the single most important thing this character has to teach you. Presence is not the same as self-worth. You can walk into a party looking completely untouchable and still quietly hand your entire sense of value to someone who has done absolutely nothing to earn it. Her confidence was real in every room except the one that actually counted. That is the gap. She could command a crowd of strangers and still could not command basic respect from the person standing closest to her, because the armor was built to win the room, not to protect the girl living underneath it. The applause was never the problem. It was the person she let in past the armor. And there is a specific reason this happens to the strongest women, not the weakest ones. And it is worth understanding because it might be running quietly in your own life right now. When you are used to winning every room, used to people wanting you the second you walk in, a person who withholds their approval does not register as a warning sign. It registers as a challenge. The one who is hard to impress starts to feel like the only prize actually worth having, because everyone else came too easily. So the coldness does not push her away. It pulls her in. Earning the affection of the person who treats her worst starts to feel like the ultimate proof that she is enough, when it is really just proof that he figured out how to keep her chasing. That is the trap. The very confidence that makes her magnetic is the same thing that convinces her she can win over someone who was never going to love her properly. Her strength did not protect her from that. In a strange way, it walked her straight into it. And if you have ever found yourself most obsessed with the one person who seemed the least impressed by you, you already know this feeling from the inside. And it cuts even deeper than that. The one relationship Maddy actually let herself trust, her best friend, is the one that betrays her in the most personal way imaginable, going behind her back with the exact same boy who had already broken her. Picture two young women who used to tell each other everything now, sitting across a room in total frozen silence. A friendship split straight down the middle. Watch how Maddy handles it, because it tells you everything. She does not collapse in front of the crowd. She goes cold and precise, protecting the performance even while she is clearly bleeding somewhere underneath it. And that instinct, to stay perfectly composed no matter what is detonating on the inside, is the exact quality so many people admire in her and quietly try to copy. But copying the composure without understanding what it actually costs is how you end up living the same way in your own life. Smiling politely at the dinner table while something inside you is quietly coming apart. Looking fine and being fine turned out to be two completely different skills, and she had only ever mastered the first one. From the outside, it looks like strength. Underneath, it is a very expensive kind of loneliness. If any of this is landing, if you are catching a glimpse of yourself somewhere in it, go ahead and subscribe. This is the channel where we take the characters and the people you are already fascinated by, pull out the psychology hiding inside them, and turn it into something you can actually use on a regular Tuesday afternoon. Now let's talk about how you take the best of what Maddy has and quietly leave the rest of it behind. And this is where you have to get honest about which version you are actually chasing, because there are two completely different kinds of not caring, and from the outside they can look almost the same. There is the armor kind, where you go numb, you perform being unbothered, You swallow the hurt and smile through it and call that being strong. Maddy had that kind in abundance. And then there is the real kind, where you are genuinely settled enough inside yourself that other people's opinions land somewhere soft and simply do not get to run your day. One of them is a performance you keep up because you are quietly terrified of what happens if you ever drop it. The other is a foundation you actually get to stand on. The whole tragedy of Maddy is that she had the performance refined into an art form and never got handed the foundation underneath it. Your entire job, if you want the good version of all this, is to build the foundation she was missing, so that one day the calm on your face is finally telling the truth about the calm underneath it. Here is the reframe that actually matters. You do not have to choose between being Maddy and being safe. The fire and the self-destruction were never the same thing, and you get to keep one of them without ever signing up for the other. Take the boundaries, take the walk, take the flat refusal to over-explain yourself to people who were never owed an explanation in the first place. Take the way she stops chasing approval and lets the room come to her instead. All of that is worth having, and none of it will cost you anything except your fear. But build it on the one thing she never actually had. Build it on the quiet, unshakable belief that your worth is simply not up for a vote, not from a man, not from a friend group, not from a comment section full of strangers who do not know you. Maddy tied her value to being wanted by the wrong person, and that thin thread is what the entire thing hung from. You get to tie yours to something that nobody else has the power to cut. That is the version of her that actually wins in the end. Same presence, same fire, same walk into the room, but this time the confidence runs all the way down to the floor instead of stopping politely at the surface. So what does that actually look like when you are not a character on a screen and there is no soundtrack swelling behind you? It looks like leaving the conversation that drains you instead of staying 20 more minutes out of pure politeness. It looks like saying the honest thing in the meeting and letting the silence right after it be a little uncomfortable. It looks like catching the exact moment you start performing for someone who has not earned your softness and deciding to save that softness for the people who genuinely have. And it does not arrive all at once, the way it looks like it did for her. You build it in small, almost boring reps. One honest sentence at a time. One moment where you choose not to chase. One evening where you let someone be a little disappointed in you and watch the world keep spinning anyway. Each of those is a tiny deposit into the belief that you can survive being fully yourself, and enough of them stacked together is what eventually reads to a room as the presence you keep admiring on a screen. Maddy's entire aesthetic, the bold graphic makeup, the outfits that flatly refuse to blend into the background, the way she enters a space like she was always meant to be standing in it, all of it is really just one sentence said over and over in 100 different ways. I am not going to make myself smaller so that you can feel more comfortable. You can start saying that sentence with your whole life starting tomorrow, and you do not need a single other person to sign off on it first. That is the thing people keep missing when they copy the eyeliner and skip the entire point sitting underneath it. So let me leave you sitting with the question that actually matters, the one worth carrying out of here with you. If you truly believed you were exactly as valuable as you already think Maddy is, what would you do differently starting today? Which text would you finally stop refreshing your phone waiting on? Which friendship would you stop quietly over-functioning in just to keep it alive? Which version of yourself would you stop apologizing for every time you walk into a room? Because the obsession was never really about a girl on a television screen. It was a signal, and it has been flashing the whole time. Some part of you already knows exactly how you deserve to be treated, and exactly how you are supposed to move through your own life. And you have been watching someone else do it because it felt so much safer than doing it yourself. So here is the honest truth to take with you when you go. You do not need to become her. You need to stop performing a smaller, quieter, more apologetic version of the woman you already are underneath all of it. That confidence you keep getting pulled toward on the screen has been sitting inside you this entire time, just waiting for you to stop asking permission to pick it up and use it. So go use it, take up the space, say the thing, stop shrinking. And whatever else you do out there, stay hot.